Hey, it's JJ, the drama teacher, here with yet another drama game to help English teachers integrate drama into their curriculum. Today we're going to be looking at how to help your writers get more creative by guiding them through some exercises incorporating drama to bring their imaginations to life. So the first thing that we want to do whenever you're talking about creative writing, you want to have a setting. So look at my YouTube game about Martha game. There's a game that's all about building a setting and using tableau work. I'm not going to talk about that in this segment, but there is something on my YouTube channel is about the Martha game. But this one is about creating characters, memorable characters. So we're going to ask the class to stand up in a circle. We're going to go around the circle, and everybody would come up with an occupation, and then or a character personality, and then they're going to have some type of quirk or adjective that describes them. And in drama, it's always a good idea to ask them to visualize what that might look like, because someone who's mean and grumpy might look different than someone who's eternally happy. So I'm going to ask my students to come up with an adjective and a character and see what they do. So let me start with this little group right here. What are you going to come up with?
A tired teenager.
What might that look like? Okay, what's your character and adjective?
An annoyed teacher.
What might that look like? Okay, and who are you going to come up with?
An energetic baseball player.
Ooh, what might that look like? Okay, and what character might you come up with?
A nervous doctor.
And what might that look like? Oh, beautiful. All right, so next I'd like to kind of take these characters and come to life. So let me have you two step forward first. And let's play a game of it gets better and it gets worse. I'm going to direct you guys through. Initially, I'm just going to let you be at the supermarket and you bump into each other. You know each other from somewhere, I'm not sure. Have a little bit of an initial interaction. And then I'm going to shout out, it gets better, and I'm going to give you a scenario. And then I'm going to give you, it gets worse in the scenario. So let me see you do your initial meeting in the grocery store. Ready? Begin.
Watch where you're going. I don't have time for this today.
Whatever.
Wait a minute, you're that kid that always falls asleep in my class.
Oh yeah, you're the boring English teacher.
I do a lot of work for you kids.
Maybe writing detention slips, but nothing else.
All right, so now it gets better because his dad is your boss.
Wait, what's your last name?
Kissling.
Oh, you're a great student in class. Your dad's a great guy. I'm sure he's raised you well.
Oh yeah, isn't he like your boss or something?
Yeah, good guy to know.
Okay, and then it gets worse because your dad doesn't really think is a good teacher.
Well, he agrees with me that you're not very good at your job. Teaching.
What? Did he talk about me?
Most often when I complain, and usually he agrees with me.
Well, you tell your dad that. I'll work on that.
All right, beautiful. And scene, thank you very much. Let me go to these next two. Yes, it's always nice to give a round of applause so someone feels supported. Again, when we're doing this kind of work, we want to know that stepping out of our comfort zone is important, and just be brave and try it. And I would also let your students know that the first few times you do it may not be polished and perfect, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. I'm now going to add another layer, and I'm going to call on the class to tell me how it gets better or how it gets worse. So again, who's your character?
An energetic baseball player.
And you are?
Nervous doctor.
Let's have you guys at encountering each other at a derby event. You get to decide which one. Ready? Begin.
Oh, you're the one that has the operation coming up in next week?
Oh, you have on my shoulder. Yeah, I was just hitting the ball too hard. I'm just too good at baseball.
Yeah, I understand. Well, you might want to take care of that until then. I mean, it sounded pretty serious.
I mean, I have a game on Saturday. I'm still going to play it. Nothing holds me back.
Well, I don't know if that would be the best idea.
Okay, freeze right there. Let me call on someone. How can this get better? Will someone raise your hand and tell me a scenario where this might get better? Again, we're trying to zero in on conflict. What might be a good development of conflict? How could this get better?
The doctor tells her she can tape her shoulder up.
Oh, so you can tape the shoulder and she might still be able to perform or play.
Well, I suppose if you tape up your shoulder and you make sure that it's iced after the game, then you could play, but make sure that you're on time for the operation.
When is it?
Next Monday?
Well, I'm just gonna take my shoulder, go to my game, win, and then guess I'll see you Monday.
Freeze right there. Let me call on the class. How can it get worse? Give them a scenario, Caden.
She's like jumping around and stuff, and then she like falls and breaks her finger.
Right here on the spot. So it gets worse because right here on the spot you fall and you break a bone, maybe specifically a finger. All right, ready? Go.
Yes, I'm so pumped! I can't wait to win!
Oh my god! What did they teach me to do if somebody falls? Are you okay?
No! I'm still playing my game!
I suppose if you tape it,
Look at my finger!
that'll be another operation.
And freeze. So what a teacher would do at this time, we hold that, is the teacher would then ask the students to sit down and kind of brainstorm some things that they could do to create conflict. So the first round you want to do setting information. The second round you want to create characters. You've got 30 kids who came up with some ideas, and the kids sit down and they are attracted to 2 or 3 of those characters that they can further develop. So you brainstorm with the whole class. And then the third thing you want to do is help students find conflict by giving them scenarios where it gets better or it gets worse, and then ask kids to sit down and do some more writing. So then they've got 3 or 4 layers of ways to create a story, and they brainstorm with the whole class, so it's not just on them to come up with something, and it's a collaboration effort. So try it and see how it works in your classroom. Okay, let's head out.